Hello folks, it's me, your friendly neighbourhood dogger, and I've come out of hibernation. Hello everyone, and welcome to the first in this year's episodes of Tog Vlogs, where I take you behind the scenes of all my photo shoots and maybe give you a little insight on the kind of stuff that I do. And on today's episode we're going to be covering 2 shoots and a tutorial, one that some of you aspiring photographers, especially in the Doctor Who cosplay field, might be interested in. I'm going to be telling you how to get the best effect off of your sonic screwdriver in post-production. But before that, let's take a little look at what I got up to in February. So today I'm back in Wellington in the amazing shop that is Vintage Geek, and today I'm with Sarah and we're going to be doing yet another Valentine's shoot. I mean, at this rate I might as well make it a yearly thing. We've got a load of props, we've got a load of ideas, and we're going to be going around Wellington Market and we're going to be seeing what we can get up to, really. Today she's in her 13th Doctor Cosplay, which is always nice to see. Let's see how she's getting on.
I got it last year thanks to Meera, who kindly treated me to it as a present, and it was very, very unexpected, and I'm totally amazed that she bought it for me, but really happy because I love it. I really enjoyed it. I liked her as a Doctor. When it was first announced I was like, oh, it's going to be a woman, and I was just like, eh. But she is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. She was the Doctor from the first moment she was on screen, and yes, some people say she used the Sonic a lot, but that's what the Doctor does. He uses the Sonic. Fourth Doctor was my first Doctor, and I just fell in love with this series then. I used to watch it with my brother, and we used to hide behind the settee during some episodes, and my mum was like, if you keep hiding behind that sofa, I'm not going to let you watch it anymore. So we just had to brave it out so we could carry on watching it and just sit there and just a little bit panicky, but you know. No. Maybe a wig if it came to it, but never go blonde. Merlin, probably my nerdiest moment. I absolutely adore Merlin. I made 3 different flags. One with Team Merlin when I went to watch them play in Soccer 6. I had photos with them all, and when they won, got a photo with Bradley James, who was the team captain in King Arthur, which was quite a high point. And I also got to know the actors. They've all signed it, and yeah, so I'm known as the one with the flags. Gives you that bit of confidence that you don't have when you're yourself necessarily, and you can be a bit boldy, you can take on elements of the character, have that sort of confidence, and it's a lot of fun, especially when you got the 4th Doctor outfit on, you've got the scarf. That's a lot of fun. I don't know, maybe some sort of little crossover with something. I don't know. I'm not really. I'd have to think more about that one. I'm not very good at thinking on the spot. But yeah, maybe meeting some of the Torchwood crew, Captain Jack, that would be a good one. Her meeting Captain Jack, I'd like to see that. Or meeting Jenny, that would be another one. The dynamics of having a mum as opposed to a dad, or just seeing the parent. I think that would be quite interesting, and I think they'd work well together.
Say, out of all the different Doctors cosplayed, the 13th Doctors are by far my favourite. Every single 13th Doctor cosplayer is always happy, always brilliant in front of the camera, and they've always got this weird energy, and it's something that I haven't seen before in other Doctor cosplayers. And I look forward to shooting more throughout the year. Oh, by the way, this is Jacob. He's a dear friend of mine. doing? You off and do your own thing. I'm doing some video links. Now, Lickey Hills is just outside Longbridge in the West Midlands, and I've been here once before, but I was modelling that time, and I've always been meaning to come back. The strange thing is that we got to Lickey Hills, and then I realised that actually the woodland area is a lot bigger than I expected. So it's taken me until like the end of the day to get here. You get this amazing, incredible view of the West Midlands. I mean, that doesn't really do it justice if I'm honest, but it's absolutely beautiful. But this kind of location is perfect if you want to get some nice kind of out of the city kind of shots. So if you're looking for some nice kind of country areas in the West Midlands, Lickey Hills is definitely the place to go.
MCM 2014 or 13?
Something like that, yeah.
14. Paul McGann's autograph kit.
Yeah.
We literally just stood right behind each other.
It's true. You was with your friends at the time, and I was on my own, very much fangirling away about Paul McGann. It was the first time I ever met him.
Was slightly fanboying as well.
Well, he's a very charismatic guy, and then for some reason, I don't know, I just kind of turned around to you and then started just chatting away, and I was like...
It's been like that ever since. It's very, very wintry, obviously, so it's a good one to wear in the winter, but obviously Peter Capaldi's done so many variants. It's nice to just pick one out, particularly one of the rarer ones, because I think he only wore this for that one episode, and we never saw the splatter jumper again.
Even though I got lots of variants of this particular outfit, I think the move from having companion cosplays and then moving to the actual 13th Doctor was really pretty empowering. I mean, especially MCM, what was it, MCM November in the winter. The amount of people just coming up to you and wanting to take your picture and being really quite excited and just asking about your cosplay. Oh, where did you get this? Or where did you get your t-shirt? But I love this variant most of all because it's the one they use in Demons in Punjab, which is very much part of my culture and it's part of my heritage, which I absolutely loved. And it looked good in, marine. So. Friendships.
Yeah, definitely. People from all sorts of backgrounds, whether it's ethnic background, different sexualities, young and old, people who obviously are on an autistic spectrum or have things like Asperger's or disabilities, and just all that goes out of the window, and you just people that love Doctor Who.
I'd say a really lovely hobby when you're older, you don't have kids, you want to meet more people, you feel very kind of you need to get out there more and just talk to people.
Pick something that means the most to you and stick with it, whether it's new Doctor Who, old Doctor Who.
It doesn't even have to be Doctor Who, it can be different genres, from movies, films, something, maybe you watch on Netflix or in the cinema, or, you can choose anything as long as it's something that you can either get your hands on the internet or you can get somebody to help you, make it yourself.
Out of your own wardrobe. If you've got a yellow V-neck jumper and some black trousers, just get a badge and bang, you can get your Star Trek.
Using cardboard if you want to wear a robot, I don't know, something like that, just off the top of my head.
Now, over the last few years, I've been known quite well in the Doctor Who cosplay community for my photography. I've done a lot of events and meetups. I also have my comic book covers project, which is very rewarding because it's the thing that people tend to know me for other than the DW 2012 stuff. But lately, I've kind of realised that with the wealth of amazing photographers in the community, especially ones that there are so many skilled ones out there as well who are really good at visual effects. I decided that from now on I'm going to start focusing more on not being a cosplay photographer, but being a photographer that happens to take pictures of cosplayers. And that way round I can use my my own way of taking photos and editing them, my own look in my work, and add them to what the subjects are providing. So it's something that I'm definitely going to be doing more of over the course of this year. Well, how's about that? 2 13s for the price of one. Now picture this, you're on location, or maybe even in a studio, with your favourite Doctor Who cosplayer, and they've just whipped out a sonic screwdriver, and it is your job to make that sonic really effective within the parameters of that image. How do you get the right lens flare effect, maybe often in post? Well, here's a little tutorial to show you how. Right folks, well, welcome to my desktop screen, lovely picture of Sarah there, and I'm going to show you how to get a nice little simple effect on your sonic screwdriver if you're looking to do any Doctor Who editing. Now, first thing I'm going to do, open up my Photoshop. Now you'll see I'm using CS3 here, and the reason for that is because I was taught using CS3 about a decade ago and I've never felt the need to upgrade it. It works pretty well for me. Also because any of the updated versions will still have all the simple tools that I'll be using in this tutorial. Now as you can see, I've got a picture here of my lovely partner here, Sarah. I did a shoot with her in February where we did like a 13th Doctor shoot down at Vintage Geek in Wellington Market, and as you can see here, she's holding out the sonic screwdriver at me as I directed her. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to add just a little bit more light and flare, a little lens flare if you will, onto that to kind of add to the effect. Now I've already made a start editing the image. I've upped the contrast a tiny bit, just giving it a little bit of a cinematic edge, but we'll finish that up later on when we've got the lens effect added. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head on over to my folder here, my lens flare folder. Now over the last few years I have collected a number of textures. I've even got a textures folder, as you can see, and this is a folder just filled to the brim with different lens flares, because this is very important. It's not a one-size-fits-all scenario. As you can see, you've got different colours, different intensities, so what you might find will work with one image won't always work for all of them. I mean, I like to use these ones an awful lot because they're of a bigger size and a more neutral tone, which I can change later on. But you've got some more kind of atmospheric ones as well, a bit more ambitious ones. I've collected these over the years from places like DeviantArt and other places where you can get royalty-free stuff. So we're going through our folder here, trying to find what might be seen as the best fit, and I'm instantly drawn to this one. It's already got the kind of yellowish tone, and is kind of the right kind of shape as well. You can see it's kind of cut off at the end there, but you don't have to worry about that because I'll show you what you can do to rectify that. Now, it's just a simple case of a good old drag and drop. It's a tiny bit small. Now this might not be the way that everybody does it, but this is how I do it, and it's fared me quite well over the last few years. So it's a tiny bit small, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into free transform, I'm going to lock so it stays in its original shape, and I'm going to make it the size that I randomly think, or roughly think, might suit. So we've got that there. Now as you can see, there's a lot of black going on there. It's basically completely taken over the image. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go over to your layer mode down here, because you've got an extra layer here, and that's your layer, your screen, your thing. That's your I've completely lost my train of thought. That's your lens flare. So what you want to do is you've got all these different settings here, so you can change how this layer is seen above the layer below it. So what you're going to want to do is go to linear dodge add, and as you can see, instantly all of the black is gone, and what's left is this wonderful little lens flare here. As you can see, it hasn't really done much to the image, but it adds to it. But you can still see some borders along the side here. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to go to our layers in image, And here you've got your black and your white and your mids. So what you're going to do is just simply take it down until the borders are gone. I mean, you can play around with your mids just to kind of muck about with the intensity. And you can see instantly if I just turn off the preview, there you go, instantly better. Now you can see here that the lens flare itself looks a slight bit out of place because the hand itself is out of focus, but the lens flare seems to be in focus. So what you might want to do in some cases is get out your Gaussian blur and just have a muck about and see if you can just change it. So that seems to do the trick there. Now, if the sonic colour was a different colour to yellow, you could go into your lens flare folder, like I have here, and try and find the right colour. Or you could just simply go to Image, Adjustments, Hue Saturations, and muck about with the hue until you've got what you feel is the right tone for your sonic screwdriver. And then all I need to do is play around with the filtering section. So I go to selective colour myself. Just play around with the neutrals, see if I can get it to kind of add to the overall feel of it. So I mean, you've got your whites here. I might up the yellow and the whites because you can see that there's a bit more blue. I mean, you can't really tell that much there, but there you have it. There's your simple lens flare effect. And if I turn it off and on again, you can see it just adds a little to the intensity. So there you have it, folks, just an easy step-by-step guide to how to add a nice little sonic flare to your sonic screwdriver. Now you can do this with many other things. It doesn't have to be a Doctor Cosplay thing. If you've taken a picture that involves like a flashlight or any kind of light that you feel needs to add a little bit extra on top, then that's your best foot forward. Doing the linear dodge add tool will work on any backdrop on any level, so don't worry about it being like a white backdrop or a darker backdrop. It'll work in any case. You just have to fiddle around with the levels at the end of the day, and it's all about variance then. I've used this effect on a number of occasions with different effects, as you can see here. I've even done it for one or two of my comic book covers, even adding just its own little kind of variation and tone. So let me know in the comments if you've got any other questions about this, and if there are any other tools that you would want some tips on, just let me know. And yeah, happy photoshopping, I guess.
Well, there you have it, folks. Well, let me know how the tutorial goes, and if there's anything else that you'd like to ask, please let me know in the comments. Feel free to like and subscribe, maybe ding that little bell. I don't know what it does, but apparently it's important. And don't forget to follow me on social media. But for me, now, stay classy at Janna's. Bye-bye.
One more time.